Good evening, everyone, and a hearty welcome to all the educators and innovators present here. We are thrilled to have you join us for this exciting session on turbocharged AI tools for every subject and grade. In today's session, we will be exploring how turbocharged AI tools intelligent, intuitive, and incredibly versatile are reshaping the way we teach and learn across every subject and grade level. From foundational literacy in junior classrooms to advanced problem solving in senior school, AI is not just a tool, it's a teaching partner. This initiative aligns with the vision of NEP 2020, helping and empowering educators to create engaging, inclusive, and personalized learning experiences that foster curiosity and creativity and critical thinking. So, when we talk about and before we begin, for our today's session, towards the end of the session, we have a quiz, the much awaited quiz for the session that you can attempt to earn your well deserved certificate. But before that, let's introduce ourselves. So go ahead and type in the chat window your good name, school name, and the city from where you are joining in, and also share with us what's your go to AI tool to turbocharge your work. Waiting for your responses in the chat window. Please do share with us your name, school name, and city, along with which is your go to AI tool to turbocharge your work. Thank you, Ramya Sriram ma'am from Campus K School, Chennai, for your response. All right, so you say that your turbocharge go-to tool, AI tool is Copilot. Yes, definitely. Copilot really makes our life easy, be it anything. Waiting for some more responses. Shalini ma'am from Suchitra Academy. Claude AI, welcome. Thank you for sharing that. Come on, we are flooded day in, day out with so many AI tools. Divya Sharma ma'am from Reliance Foundation School. Sorry. Chat GPT and Magic School. Great. Sorry, excuse me. Wonderful. Shalini ma'am from SJS and we are Copilot. Yeah, Copilot seems the favorite out here. Surbijan ma'am from Learnways Play School. Okay. Shramika ma'am, you say from Bhai Avabai Patet School, Bandra. Chat GPT and Copilot. Yeah, surely. Thank you for your response. Waiting for a few more responses before we move ahead. Okay, so I'll just do keep on dropping your responses in the chat window. I'm going to just take you a little forward out here. So, when we talk about us as teachers, teachers as designers of learning, yes, teachers curate, create, and adapt learning experiences to meet diverse student needs. In a classrooms, we had students with diverse needs, and we really need to reach out to each and every one of them. They blend pedagogy, creativity, and empathy to make learning relevant and engaging. NEP 2020 also emphasizes the role of teachers as facilitators and designers of holistic education. So, when we talk about AI as a creative thinking buddy, AI tools like Copilot, as we have mentioned in the chat window, Magic School AI, and Adobe Express, these all assist in brainstorming, planning, and content creation. They help generate lesson plans, quizzes, visuals, and even feedback, which definitely frees up the time for teachers to focus on students. AI also supports ideation, personalization, and innovation in the classroom. The third thing is automating routine tasks. Tasks like grading, formatting, summarizing, and reporting can be streamlined using AI. How does this help? This reduces administrative load and allows teachers to invest more time in student interaction and mentoring. Focusing on engagement and deeper learning, with AI handling repetitive tasks. Many a times we keep on doing the task repeatedly without even realizing it. But here, when AI is there, teachers can design inquiry based, project based, and experiential learning activities. So, AI enables real time feedback, adaptive learning paths, and interactive content that deepens understanding. When we talk about differentiated support tailored to curriculum goals, AI tools can generate content at varying difficulty levels, supporting multilingual learners and aligning with the CBSE or NEP learning outcomes. Teachers can use AI to scaffold learning, address misconceptions which are in our classrooms and which we see year by year, and finally, personalizing instruction. But we need to remember that AI doesn't replace the teacher. It empowers the teacher. It's a co-pilot that helps us fly higher, think deeper, and teach smarter, right? So now let's deep dive a little deeper into the today's topic. And I'm going to invite Meenakshi ma'am. Do let me know if you can hear it. I hope the audio is audible. A thumbs up or a simple yes in the chat window will suffice. Thank you so much, Shalini ma'am, for that confirmation. Okay, I can see some of us are writing that it's clear and audible, and some of us are mentioning that it's not audible. May I humbly request if you may just leave the session for a second and join back again, and I'm going to reshare my screen once again, right? Okay, I'm just going to reshare the screen so that it's loud and clear. Give me a second, please.
Introductory piece, an exploration, a practice, assessment. This will help you anchor your lesson in the learning cycle and ensure that AI is being used purposefully. You know me and purpose. Purpose and I are, I think, I cannot think without a purpose. So, next, what comes to me is purpose. If you see the phase is in place before purpose because purpose can only be defined if you know what phase you are in. So the second piece that I want you to think about is the purpose. Why are you doing this? Clarify your objective or your outcome as to what is it going to lead to. Are you aiming to spark curiosity, build understanding, encourage collaboration, or assess progress? So this step aligns your purpose or your targeted outcome. So for a very meaningful AI integration and with a pedagogical intent, not just a novelty. Yeah. And then comes the third piece, which is the AI tool. AI tool, well, choose the right tool is obviously, what I'm going to say, but that tool should be able to match your phase and your purpose. That's most important. For content creation, let's say, we might say a combination of Copilot and Adobe Express is great. For lesson planning, probably I might toggle between Copilot and Magic School AI. For interactive engagement, I might go to QReport, or for designing infographics, I might go to Napkin AI. So, what I'm trying to do over here is I'm trying to tell you what phase, what purpose, and then, sorry, I'll try and bring in the AI tool. If anyone has been a part of my sessions where, we spoke about the TPAC, the technology, pedagogy, content knowledge, that framework in itself also, brings together a very similar piece where we say that you need to work at the intersection of technology, pedagogy, and content. So look at the content that you're teaching, choose the pedagogy of how you're going to teach it, and then choose the technology. So this is pretty similar to that. And here we are saying choose the phase that you are in, that is decide on your phase of learning where you are, then go for the purpose and then the AI tool. You know what? Today, I've chosen one of the toughest purpose and phase that I could think of. So think about it in a way that this tool, if it can help you with this piece, I think we've just won half the game. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about assessment. Yes, you heard me right. We are talking about assessments. There's a shift in assessment. Traditional assessments basically focused on the final product, and now the new approaches emphasize on process, reasoning, and application. And this is exactly what NEP 2020 goals, are aligned here, and this leads to deeper learning. That's exactly what we are looking at. What do I mean by this? Let me help you with the example. Let's say in mathematics. Yes, I picked up one of the unique, example to begin with. You will see how I segue my way into going into other subjects as well. But look at maths. I think move beyond just answer checking. Just looking at if the answer is correct or not. We need to start thinking of the ways in which we can uh, think aloud these assessments, which means that we can see how we are encouraging students to explain their problem, the approach that they are adopting towards solving this problem. And probably, this could be done through anything, either orally or via video. For example, I would often ask my students to say, can you walk me through how you approach this solving this quadratic equation? Now, while they're doing that, what matters is Their reasoning becomes visible to me and accessible for me. Support their formative assessment, their personalized feedback, and build critical thinking and communication skills, because those are what matter in the long run for me. This is just a quadratic equation that you're solving. But what I want to see is, do you really understand the process? Do you understand the steps? I want to catch you where the misconception lies or where you deviate from the regular path. So as we do that, I will be able to identify if it is visible to me. Yeah. So it could either happen orally, or I would say that you can do the entire worksheet, but in just one of the questions, if you could explain to me uh, through letting me know, how are you actually navigating through this. Difficult to understand? Don't worry, I'm going to unpack more examples. Let's talk about languages, whether it's Hindi, English, or any other language. Um, let's say we are using AI to generate essays. Yeah. It cannot replicate a student's personal voice, interpretation, or spontaneous thinking. You all will agree with me on that, right? So, encouraging assessments that highlight originality is important. So, while we are asking Copilot to, draft an assignment or generate, write essays or give me some topics, we must, probably lend some points to say, uh, do note the essential elements of that I would like to see in your essay are personal storytelling, debating, or thinking about a particular point, and let me know your perspective, and oral interpretations of whatever you're going to say. For example, let's say over here it says a viva where student interprets a poem in their own words, reveals depth of understanding and emotional connection, something AI can't fabricate for you, right? This is something that the child will write. So this is where you know whether the child has been able to make the right connect or not. I still remember I was doing the road less taken, and there are many ways in which you can form your own ideas or thoughts about that particular poem. But when you're doing that and you're sitting with your own, just about taking about 3 to 4 lines, you can actually come up with your own version. Now, AI can't do that for you, right? You will have to see your personal self over there. And that's where we say AI resistant, or I wouldn't say actually resistant. I would say uh, AI copied and pasted text is what not we are expecting from students. Yeah. Then in assessments in science, let's say, a shift from the lab reports is what we are looking at. Traditionally, lab reports are easy for AI to generate, but I have an example for that today. I'll be talking about it on the other side. But real-time thinking and data representation are uniquely human. Yeah. The shift here is live demonstrations. So what students can do is use very simple tools like, let's say, Adobe Express on a mobile phone, put it on, probably recording mode, a video recording. It doesn't take time to make that video, and you do a live demonstration. Yeah. Or probably you could use audio, animate with audio option for oral vivas. Or you could have a real time data analysis where the student is able to explain. So, provide students with newer data sets in class, not the same that are already present, and ask them to identify the patterns, and also probably some anomalies in that. So this assesses their ability to think critically and apply this concept, not just memorize the definitions. Yeah. Again, I will bring focus back to NEP 2020's focus on competency based, experiential, and personalized learning. And this shift of what we are talking today aligns to exactly that. And we are using this AI tool to not just have authentic assessment, but also be able to capture the process, the learner voice, reasoning, and creativity at the same time. Yeah, I hope it makes sense, whatever I'm talking. And, the last bit, I want to give two more examples here, because we must try, like I said, the topic today is going across subject and grade. So at least in this talk with you, I should be able to go across. So, In social studies, I think moving beyond traditional essay prompts to contextual and critical thinking tasks is very important. So, rather than write an essay about World War II, students are asked to connect historical lessons to current issues. For example, instead of asking students simply to recount a historical event, challenge them to draw connections between past and present. So this activity could change into in what ways does the League of Nations failure compare to today's global climate negotiations? So what you're trying to do is trying to bring in a historic piece today into today's scenario and trying to see, if there are global climate negotiations happening, what do you think we should learn from the League of Nations failure to be able to apply over here and think more more probably judiciously? So we are encouraging analysis here. We are taking perspectives. We are doing real world relevance, not just hypothetical ones or scenario based as we normally do. So here the areas are where we are doing these AI generated uh, scenario cases, we don't fall short of ideas. All of this is being done to promote higher order thinking. All of this is being done for interdisciplinary reflective learning. Now, you see, whatever I'm speaking, you must hear the terms that are usually associated with NEP 2020. Yeah. Art and creative subjects. Like I said, I'll try and cover most of the subjects. Art teachers, here's one for you. I think assessment especially in art and creative subjects, must focus on the process and reflection. The key message here should be that there is a creative process that involves a kind of a journey of creation, which should be documented. What inspired them? What choice did they make? Did they face any hurdle? How did they overcome it? When they paused, what did they think about to move onwards? How did this entire creative piece come together? They evolved in their ideas, and that kind of a capturing of a process as a part of a portfolio is something that will be a reflective presentation of their creative journey and their creative decisions, and that is what matters, because that is how we're going to value originality. I'll give you a very simple example. So let's say a teacher has given an artwork to say, think of sit in a garden, think of or look at one of the anything any piece that catches your attention and probably replicate that on your canvas. So let's say this child chooses a leaf to replicate, or a tree to replicate, and while you're doing so there are so many other leaves and trees around you. What helped them make that decision upon arriving on that piece? What was the process? How difficult or how easy was their choice? At any point in time, did they think that they should be making a change in their voice, or their choice? So, student thinking, creativity, and connection making is visible to me, and that's what truly matters. It is the insights and reflection that will remain irreplaceable, whatever the final product is will be. However, the process is going to be more important. Well, I think I've just given you multiple examples here, and I will straight away now jump into multiple use case scenarios so that we are aligning our goals to NEP 2020. But do remember, we do not believe in random act of adoption. So what I've done for this today's understanding is we've structured this whole piece today. We believe in a structured approach to AI in education. Therefore, today what we've done is we've divided our entire talk into uh, three uh, three segments. The junior school, and yes, it doesn't align with the new system. It's the traditional way. The junior school, the middle school, and the senior school for today's understanding. Now, as we do that, I will be talking about various ways in which we can use tools between Copilot, Magic School AI, and Adobe Express. As we do that, we will be looking at various use cases between enhancing lesson planning, interactive learning activities, assessment and feedback tools, and progress reporting. Yes, I've tried creating a spectrum spectrum, or capturing a spectrum of things with you today. And let's start with Copilot as our first piece. Copilot being one of the most transformative tools that I've ever come across. Simply by using that tool in various scenarios like these, we could do that, right? So, for example, I'll give you some certain examples, and then I'm going to deep dive into uh, exploring a particular use case with you. So, let's say, you're writing simple stories with improved vocabulary, is what you're looking for. So, you simply just say, rewrite this grade 2 story with more descriptive words. Or you say, design a reflection journal for grade 1 art project on out in the garden. Now, you know where I'm coming from. Yes, that was on my mind. Therefore, I picked that piece to speak to you. Or in the middle school, you're taking this to the next level where you're saying assist with essay structure and grammar. And the prompt that I'm using is build a comparison between ancient civilization, between, let's say, Indus Valley and Egyptian civilization with maps and facts. This becomes like a starting point for my class to talk. And what I do is I take this comparison and I give one piece of comparison to each group of students and I ask them to analyze. And while they are telling others about it, they learn about the concept. Yeah. You're changing the way you're teaching. You're letting students unpack history rather than telling them about it. Here comes the lab report that I was talking about. Create a report template for grade 7 experiment on chemical reaction. That's a normal prompt that we give. How are we going to twist it? On the other side. Create a concept explainer on ratios with real life examples for grade 6. We are always looking for real life examples and they always don't come that easy. Use Copilot, I'm sure. It will give you multiple concept explainers, not just 4 or 5. You can ask for 10 and you can offer those to students, probably have a carousel in your class to be able to explore that. And for the senior students, I think what I'm going to focus on is their thesis statement and citations, because that is what's the weak point. They still can write. However, citations are very weak and their thesis statements are very weak. So let's say create a thesis and outline for a grade 11 essay on AI in society, or draft a policy analysis template for grade 12 economics assignment, or generate a revision checklist for CBSE grade 12 exam prep English literature. I think I've given you enough food for thought. Now let's deep dive. And I'm going to, from over here, not just deep dive, I'm going to go to Copilot and I'm going to try some of these prompts because, I have to lay my hands on the prompts to really start talking. Therefore, stay ready for me to take you there and let's deep dive. So here's a use case for junior school. Um, we are creating a lesson plan for grade 2 on seasons with storytelling, scenario analysis, inquiry questions, provocations, and hands on activities. Now, over here, I could also add many more things like games, role play, scavenger hunt. Pedagogical strategies are very important because they're enriched by these playway and experiential learning methods. And that's exactly how we are also supporting NEP 2020's emphasis on foundational literacy and numeracy. Because what happens is while you're doing all of this, you're actually deep diving. So let's take a look at how will we tackle this piece if we were to go to Copilot and ask for a lesson plan on this. Yeah. So here I am on Copilot. I am saying grade 2, create a grade 2 lesson plan on, okay. Um, create this, create the reading pieces at 3 different levels of reading abilities. Remember, we have a lot of students in the class. Also, um, draft vocabulary. I'm not saying vocabulary learning, vocabulary development games and probably storytelling. Have I done storytelling? No. Storytelling for formative assessment. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm being a little demanding here, and I'm not just asking for usuals, I'm trying to ask for more than what is usual. So, yes, exploring the lesson plan, it's given me my learning objectives. I could have given mine as well. However, I love this storytelling, the magical tree that changed with seasons. That's easy to visualize, right? Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this into visualizations. Don't just accept this as it is. Um, Help my students visualize this. And I'm going to ask for more. Yeah, oops, sorry. Sorry, I think I just did not press the right thing. Yeah, hold on. Let me just edit this and bring it here and give it another command. There you go. All right. So let's see what happens. I'm trying to help them visualize. You see over here, what it'll give me is it's going to be it can be described in a printable format, story layout, or seasonal tree. Okay. Describe the magical tree scene. Probably that. Why? I will take it to or probably design visual storytelling cards. This will be good. So what I could do is either I could go to Microsoft Design and give the prompt or take the prompt from here to be able to make that creative piece and go to designer to make that, or I can simply just ask Copilot, and Copilot will give me visual storytelling cards for this very story. You see, over here, my visual cards are already ready almost, right? Look at that. I mean, my visual cards are here. So let me open these and show you as well. There you go. So yeah, it'll just open up. It's taking about a few minutes to just open up. But this way, very quickly, you're able to make a story. So now with Copilot, you can actually go ahead and do so. And what you can also do is probably leave this as it is. If I were you, I would actually leave these blank. And I would say, go ahead, go to Adobe Express, okay, and create this. You go to Adobe Express and you write this, but remember, there has not to be a name, okay? So let's say Talu, and we'll call it a boy, okay? 8-year-old boy wakes up. So let's see what happens. What I'm doing here is I'm app mashing. Now, towards this, while Copilot has given me something, I'm not just accepting that and moving on. What I'm doing over here is I'm trying to go deeper into actually bringing that lesson plan to life. No point just creating that lesson plan. See what is most, oh, look at that. So beautiful, isn't it? You could be taking any of these that you want or generate more. You want to add more details. You can even write Indian Mughal garden and, Indian child or an Indian boy, whatever you want to write, you can write over here. Yeah, and make a choice of the kind of creative that you want. But I think this is beautiful. I think this shows maximum, it shows me birds, it shows me many more things. I'm going to cross this out, take this image, and probably set this as a background so that I have that entire image over here. Now, this is one of my pages. I can add a page over here and I can add text. I'll say same size. Now, do you see I have two pages over here? Now, I already have this page. I'm going to download this, okay? And I'm going to take this. Now, watch what I'm going to do. My entire story is coming out of this tool by doing app mashing. What I'm doing is I'm doing seasons with my students, but I'm also a language teacher here. I'm going to go here and take this piece, uh, take this image, put this over here and say, this is a story probably about, I'll pick it up from here and copy this, bring this back over here, help me draft text for this page. Yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing the story, what we were trying to build up, and we're picking up these pieces. So probably at for the students who read at a baseline level, you could only give these many words. But students who can read more, you could possibly, have this complete description available. I will copy this from over here, go over here, paste this here and make it like look like a storybook. Now, as really depends on how you want to use it. Make it look like a storybook, give enough space for students to read, and visually it should be very appealing as well. Yeah. So, depending on what you want, you could actually be creating these digital storybooks. Another thing, what we can do is, and I think this is something that I had suggested to a teacher on LinkedIn this week. Yes, I'm doing that a lot, guilty like anything. But I think it was Archana or Radna, ma'am, I don't remember. However, she actually did something like this. She created a story with generating images and text. And what I would do over here additionally is I would bring in animate with audio. What I will do is I'll take this up from here. I will go to animate with a character. I will pick up Talu as a character over here. There are multiple characters that are given here. So what I'm doing is I am toggling between many things. Yeah. I've gone to Copilot, taken an idea to start my unit. My unit is something that is supporting learning about seasons. I need a lot of visualization because my students need to capture the essence of changing the seasons. Yeah, change of seasons. To do that, there's a lot of descriptive writing that is required. So, from a science or a social science or an EVS concept, I'm actually moving towards language, I'm moving towards arts. So, what I'm doing is I'm using digital concepts to do so. Okay, sometimes some things just decide not to work for you. Let me just refresh this and see if this works. But otherwise, I'm going to probably leave it for you to try this. Let me just try. Let me give it another shot and see if I can get a character here to animate with and to be able to play with. It's raining really hard outside, but oh, thank goodness I got something. So let's say all people is what I will look at. I was making a story on cupcakes last time when I was here. Oh, look, there are so many children. I could choose any one of these characters to be Talu today. Let's say I'm going to take this as Talu. Yeah. And now my background needs to be a garden. Remember, I was in a garden, right? So I could either actually take this or take this one as you like it, or probably look for more garden images over here. You'll get plenty. You could even place him over here. Anything that you feel is befitting. Okay, spring flowers is good. Yeah. So I'm placing this child over here. The size was fine. And all I need to do is record. Now, to record, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read whatever we had generated till now. So I'm not going to really just copy or paste. What I'm doing is I'm actually looking at many things over here. I'm trying to bring in the same dialogues that were here. For example, Talu woke up to a magical morning. Soft pink blossom danced on its branches. Oh, beautiful. Right? I got a start over here. And look at that. I already have these available here. Yeah. So while I'm doing this, I'm going to start recording. Hi, I'm Talu. I woke up this morning to this amazing blossom of pink, beautiful flowers in the garden. I wonder what season this is. Can you guess? Now, what I've done over here is I've brought in a question in the form of an inquiry question, created a character, and I can actually take this into the story and make it not just about still images or text, but also add a talking character over there for my students to carry forward this whole story. So then I share this in the collaborative mode with my students, and what they are going to do is they're going to keep on building on this. They could bring in more characters, they could bring in a flower to talk, they could bring in a plant to talk, they could bring in a tree to talk, whatever, wherever their imagination takes them. What I'm getting out of this, I'm getting to know that the focus should be that the character should be talking about the season. Therefore, what I do is I go back over here and I say, draft some questions for students to become characters from various seasons, and they should talk about how seasons impact them. Do you see what I'm doing over here? My learning outcome has come in my statement. Yeah. Now over here, I can have these questions. I could even have a question answer going on for my students, an interview session probably. You know, Mr. Spring is here. You could actually interview Mr. Spring. So I can actually sit down here to give you some 10,000 ideas deviating from the main idea that I was on. But I don't want to do that. But you get an idea about what I'm talking, right? So what I'm saying is it's about turbocharging this entire engagement, not just focusing on creating a lesson plan, but actually going into the depth and the details and detailing each of these pieces using these little bits and bytes where you could actually add authentic learning experiences for students where they're making connect to real life, where they are able to also bring in their understanding, yet convey it in a way that actually goes beyond just writing question and or answering a question, and it also helps us hear the quietest of the voices and the deepest of the learning and understanding. Yeah, I hope what I've told you does make sense to you. I think this is taking a little longer because I spoke a little longish. It's taking a little longer to download, but you get the idea of what I'm talking, right? This is what is turbocharging. This is what is not just generating, or creating content or asking an education focused, app like Magic School AI to do something for me, which is my next. If I were on Magic School AI, now the best part is there is my collections available over here. And no, I haven't created any collection over here, but I have certain things here. Now, what I could do is probably I could ask ask for sentence starters here. Let's say these are my third graders, and I will say, the assignment would be draft sentence starters for uh, to talk about to talk about various seasons across the year. Make this scenario based. Remember, I said I'm going to make it scenario based and I will say generate. Now, as we do these things, what you will see is you're getting a variety of things to lay out. You're addressing multiple intelligences in your class. What you're also looking at is how to accommodate different abilities in your class. Now, look at this. In spring, I like to see the flowers bloom because. Do you see how it's actually directed towards making it focused in a focused way? I'm trying to bring out the response to be able to see if my students understand, what this their journey of learning about season has been. So instead of asking them to answer questions as in question answer, I'm providing them sentence starters so that once I start the sentence for you, you can carry it forward. Additionally, what I could also do is probably look at some vocabulary development. Remember, over here, I had given, one of my requests was that there should be vocabulary development games. I could actually look at the seasonal word sort, or I could say season says, oh, I love this. So you could also go into sentence starters back over here. I'm going to go back again, go to my collections and go for sentence starters once again. And now I will say this. Uh, Draft sentence starters like about seasons. Sorry, about seasons, where you say things like this, and it'll generate plenty for you. Yeah. So what I'm trying to bring in here is multiple ways in which you could actually, look, it's not given me the correct answer. Remember, this is AI. It may not give you the correct answer. Over here, you could actually go ahead and probably, modify this. In the interest of time, I'm just leaving it for you to actually wrap this. And, I'm going to go back, jump back into my next session that is all about middle school. So I think junior school, I've covered many things. You could actually talk about anything between letters, between numbers, recognition, anything that you feel is relevant for your class. Yeah, just give me a minute. Apologies about this. And yeah, we are back. So over here, I'm now moving towards middle school. Well, here, I think the learning is a little bit on the other side, which means that while I'm designing a lesson on ecosystem, I would like certain group activities because this age group, I think, has a capability to think together and work collaboratively. And I'm a firm believer of collaborative learning. Yeah. While I can take you to Copilot once again and, try this prompt over there, I'm not going to repeat myself, but I want to go to Magic School AI to find ways in which I could have experiential learning, MIA intelligence accommodations, or probably choice boards and critical and analytical thinking or quizzes designed using Magic School AI. Now, while you're doing that, once again, I may not stick to just one tool. I may want to jump from one tool to another. Yeah, I'm just going to close this in the interest. Oh no, I'm here. So here I am. I'm on Magic School AI, and there are multiple magic tools over here. I'm going to go to tools directly, and you will see multiple tools here. Remember what you were trying to do? The first thing that we were trying to do is group activities. Now, over here, you don't have to go looking, simply just type group over here. Let's see what comes up. Yeah, there are certain. No, I love this group work generator. Can you believe that? I don't have to do that. I can simply just ask, this tool to be doing that for me. Let's say I'm saying grade 7. And what were they learning about? They were learning about a science lesson on, ecosystem. I think, yeah, they were learning about ecosystem. Now, sorry, just a minute. Sorry. Why is it taking an image? Let me just check. It's a science chapter about ecosystem. And yes, it can take images. You could actually write what do you want in the group dynamics. Groups of 4 to 5 students. I need directions for group work. I also need questions and more. So let me just stop here, but you could actually ask for many more things like, students' data record sheet or, participation sheet or whatever you want. Now you see over here what it is giving me. It's giving me discussion points. It's giving me research points. It's giving me presentation points and also reflection question. I honestly couldn't have asked for more. Isn't it? Well, many a times we go to the very obvious ones, and what gets left behind are the ones where I really need help in drafting, let's say, group work. Group dynamics are very important. And similarly, you could actually go over here, design for experiential learning, go for, probably team building exercises before you actually give them, or give them hooks for this. Here's your group work generator. I absolutely love this. Honestly, I discovered it some time back, and there are so many new tools that keep coming over here. You could actually take a look at, some of these to be able to bring learning and of course making it relevant. Now ecosystem, many students might feel, I'm not sure if it's relevant for me. Yeah, so let's say make it relevant. Yeah, so let's say generate. I don't know what it's going to do. Describe your students. They are they love probably poems. They love riddles. They love questions. Okay, let's just go with this. Okay, and let's generate. I don't know what it is going to give me. I've never tried this. I'm trying this for the first time with you. But you know what? This got to be a first time. Look at that. Yeah. Riddle poetry challenge. Students will create riddles based on the poem from the poems they read in the class, and you can have multiple, activities over here. Now that I have found this, I'm going to go ahead and, probably take this, like it says, found poems for community stories. Have students interview their family members, and I'm going to take this. I do not understand it much, so I'm just going to take it to Copilot and say, elaborate this for grade 7 studying about ecosystems. And here you go. There you go. All right. So, like I said, a back and forth and jump into various apps to be able to make something that is relevant with which you can make connections is extremely important. Yeah. Here are some samples, Whispers in the Rain, and there are other examples that they have given you for to create a found poem. So I think this is something that is very unique, and this is exactly what we are looking for in our classrooms. So middle school, your classrooms are going to get rather more interesting, and I hope you're ready for that. Now, I am now going to jump into the senior school. I'm sorry if I'm overshooting the time, but I think I'm so passionate about this that I cannot just pause at one place. So for the senior school, what we have done is we took the lesson on climate change, integrating geography, English, arts, and economics. So we are going multidisciplinary here, and we are trying to take some local examples on that. Yeah. Now, local really depends on where you are. So I'm really going to go back to Copilot here, ask Copilot first, and while I so I'm going to maintain the thread. Why? Because Copilot should know what I'm asking for basis what I'm doing, right? Uh, Draft a plan for this, taking local uh, use case from Delhi and around. Okay, so I'm trying to localize my context. You could be sitting in Mumbai, Hyderabad, or whichever city you are, Lucknow, Trivandrum, wherever you are. Try and make that connect for your students. Try and build interdisciplinary learning in using local context. Believe you me, it goes a long way when you can make a connect to your environment and you feel for it because it's your environment that you're talking about. Yeah. And another element that I always used to add is that the student should have a broader perspective, not just local. So do a local, then do a me perspective. In your classroom, students might belong to different states. So they first find out about the state or the place that they live in, then the state or the place that they belong to, and then any other city or country of their choice. And then do this comparative study. Yeah. Think I've given you enough food for thought, at least for one day. And I hope you are ready to take the test now. Yes, we do have the test today. And, Duhita will share the link very soon with you. And, you will get a certificate upon completion. And Duhita will explain to you how this will proceed. But honestly, it's a joy meeting you every Tuesday. Thank you so much. We will see you next Tuesday. But don't go anywhere because Dvita is still here with you and she'll help you sail through the rest of the session. Have fun.
Thank you so much. And yes, definitely, when you have Copilot around you and all the features, it's nothing like that, right? Before I move ahead and share with you the link for today's session. Do remember and feel free to connect with us for any of our sessions. Please feel free to join our community. I'm going to share all these links in the chat window. We have our K-12 PD portfolio. You can scan the QR code and please feel free to invite us to your school. Bring in your more teachers around us as well. So this is how it all looks like. It's all aligned with the CBSE sessions and the NEP pedagogy. Everything is aligned to that. Right. Not to forget our AI school programs. If you are enthusiastic, you would like to go ahead and become an AI enthusiast school or an explorer school on AI Trailblazer school, I'm going to share the link in the chat window again. You can plan your PD sessions as shared because all the sessions are as per the CBSE guidelines, whether we are talking about core values and ethics, knowledge and practice, or aligning with NEP 2020 and NCF 2023 as well. Okay, and here's the test link. So to take the test and earn the certificate for today's session, please do complete the test and achieve at least an 80% or above marks. and a nominal cost of rupees 200 only to get your certificate. And this is the QR code. I'm going to put this link in the chat window also for convenience. Uh, Here it is. Okay. So So I've just shared the link in the chat window, please. You may please go ahead and pick up this link from the chat window. Simultaneously, if you are not a part of our community, do feel free to join in, and we would love to hear from you as a feedback. So I'm sharing the feedback form link as well in the chat window. The community link, so this is a community link wherein all the updates and everything is shared. Goes reshared again. For any of the sessions, for any of the PD sessions for the schools, please reach out to us by mailing us at education@dpedagogics.com. And if you have not heard, for our YouTube channel and the Instagram, both the links sharing all over again. And before we are overwhelmed and we lose our test link, I'm sharing today's test link once again in the end in the chat window. So once you have completed the test, you can earn your certificate by simply paying a minimal cost of rupees 200. Right? So that's here. I hope you have taken this. And before this is a September calendar, we'll be posting it. Our next session is going to be on 2nd of September, sparking creativity and innovation with AI, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. The joining link remains the same. Please do take a screenshot of it, and we look forward to see you all over again. So this is a session on 2nd of September, that is spark creativity and innovation with AI, right? The portfolio. Your feedback is as important because it keeps us motivated. I've shared the link already in the chat window. Thank you so much for joining in today and following us on Instagram as well. If you're not there, that's a QR code. Do feel free to scan it and share it. I've shared the link again, as usual, in the chat window also. Thank you everyone for joining in. Take care, stay safe, and do not forget to complete the test to earn your certificate. Happy weekend ahead. Thank you so much. Take care and stay safe, please.